So this is going to be a bit of an experiment. In that this is going to be kind of like a live video essay. And live extemporaneous speaking is something I can do, but it ain't the same level, it ain't the same quality of conversation. You feel me? So, be gentle. So if you're not familiar, let me kind of pull anybody who's not aware in. Over the weekend, an Atlanta rapper named Omeretta the Great dropped a song called Not Atlanta. Called Sorry Not Sorry. And it has
live streaming can be tricky, and sometimes trying to
the
find
world
the right
on fire a little
to
bit.
make your.
So I'm gonna play a little bit here, just so y'all can get a taste of what's going on right now with it.
And you don't know the facts, you chill and repeat after me. Cali Park, it's not Atlanta. Lithonia, it's not Atlanta. Nope. Clayco, it's not Atlanta. Nope. Decatur, it's not Atlanta. North, it's not Atlanta.
All right, so
the South, it's not Atlanta. You niggas,
let's start with this young
Atlanta.
lady. All right, and I guess I gotta start a little bit with myself. So I'm in Atlanta. I am not from Atlanta. All right, I'm from not Chicago. As in, well, I ain't gonna my hometown shit. I ain't gonna get too deep in the dox myself. But I am from not Chicago. But I've been here for 22 years now. And what made this so interesting to me is Atlanta is such a unique, prideful city that this song has dominated all conversations within most of my friend circles. Nobody's talking about the Queen getting COVID, Russia invading Ukraine, all the important stuff. We got to chill on that. We paying attention. But first we got to decide who is actually from Atlanta. And clearly she gave us a pretty strong definition, which is if you are not in one of these zones right here, you are in not Atlanta. Now, the thing is, it don't exactly mean everything she puts out on the track, but I can't argue with that parameter she set up. Let's talk about her real quick. So this is Omeretta the Great. I'm not overly familiar with her. I just found out about her like a week before this song dropped. She was on Love and Hip Hop. She is from, to put on the screen real quick, she's from down here, Zone 3. And you can tell, like I watched a little bit of her on freaking Love and Hip Hop, and like the way she talks, her whole demeanor is so ATL, young ladies. Y'all know I was a teacher, so she just reminds me of so many students I had. Got trauma with her mother, just all kinds of classic tropes of being from that particular area. So, somebody's like, so y'all feel dissed. Listen, I'm not endorsing that you should feel bad about being from not Atlanta, but I will say her definition to me is a solid definition to describing the city of Atlanta and where you are from. That said, there's some nuance here, because coming back to this image right here, I don't know where everybody else is from, or people's city experiences, but Atlanta's a unique city. All this stuff right here, like, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse, but excuse me, so many of these zones, like literally the quote unquote hood parts of those zones are minuscule at this point. Like literally a couple of blocks, a couple of apartment complexes, etc. It's not, it ain't what it was pre the Olympics. And I'll get into that. It ain't what it was at the turn of the millennium. It's not. Now, where she's from still is. That zone 3 or whatever zone she was in. What zone was that? Yeah, zone 3. That's still Atlanta. So we call it Atlanta. There's no T at the end of that version of the word. And there's some other spots. Let's see, over there in Zone 4, some of the spots in Zone 1, and a few spots in Zone 6. But other than that, Atlanta is, I don't know enough about urban sociology. I'm gonna bring your girl Bellamy, if she's in here, on in a second to maybe help me out. But Atlanta is probably one of the most thoroughly gentrified cities in the country. Like, Atlanta was, I don't know if it was ground zero, but I feel like Atlanta had to be like an early adopter of gentrification, in that so many areas that were unlivable, hood, whatever, 15 years ago, you can't even afford to buy a house in now. So, you know, and so so I feel like some people are trying to fight against the idea that there's no hood parts of Atlanta. And so I want to be clear. I'm not saying there's no street crime in Atlanta, that your ass won't get robbed in any one of those areas in Atlanta. Your car won't get broke into in any one of those areas in Atlanta. That can happen, right? Right now, Buckhead, the richest, most, money-having part of the city, is in the middle of a crime spree. So, like, it's not about actual criminal activity, which is not the best way to describe what a hood is, or what's hood, a ghetto, or whatever word you want to use. What I'm kind of talking about is the conditions of the folks living there. Because what really is happening is a lot of those folks that are in those rougher areas, or really outside in not Atlanta, they're coming into the city to do dirt because that's where, the dirt is to be done. We're gonna get to the full not Atlanta stuff in a second, but I'm seeing stuff in the chat talking about College Park is Atlanta. No, it's not Atlanta. College Park is not in this area. College Park is down here. Down here, what do we call that, chat? That's not Atlanta. Now, I'm not saying College Park is lame. I'm not saying College Park is bad. Most of the rappers you all love from Atlanta, historically, are from College Park. But College Park is literally the city of College Park. I don't know. No, it's not, L. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, L. It's not. What was I saying? The city proper is what she's talking about. And just to kind of get to her point, she has a line where she says y'all came to the city to get hype, but when they left back to the suburbs and left them in the slums. And that's really what made me want to talk about the video and the song for real, because she sneaks in a little social commentary there that I don't think people fully are catching, which is Atlanta is not just like gentrification as in white folks moving into the city and pushing black folks out. Number one, Atlanta has black gentrifiers a lot, and I'm included in that if I'm keeping it 100. And then two, Atlanta is also ground zero for the gentrification of black culture and black art, black music, black styles, etc. And that is also still being gentrified by other black folks. So there's more to it than just like who's Atlanta, who's not by area. There's also who has really built up the culture of what the city is and who's just eating off the culture of what the city is. The Purple Circle, I'm gonna get into that. Purple Circle asked a question about Atlanta post the Olympics. I got a book right here for anybody that's really about being on some scholarly shit, and then I'm gonna bring up Bellamy. This is from what's the brother's name? Dr. Maurice Hobson. He's at Georgia State University. It's a really good book that describes in detail as an ethnographic document everything I'm gonna talk about tonight. The Olympics was a big way in terms of how gentrification really got started. And so all of these areas that were, undesirable areas, unlivable, black areas, a handful of working class white folks, suddenly got swarmed by all these entities who wanted to redevelop. I can't even see. Wanted to redevelop in the city. What that does, among other things, is it kind of throws off what Omeretta's getting at in her video and her song. Because where did all those people go? This is where you people that's mad at her get a moment. Somebody said Black Mecca, yeah. Where did all these people go? Somebody in the chat tell me, where did these people that were in Zone 6, in Zone 3, in all these other zones, where did they go when those projects, when Carver Homes was tore down, Hollywood Court was turned down, half of Adamsville torn down, etc. They went to the same places she said are not Atlanta, which then complicates the whole point of her argument. A lot of people in the chat are saying OTP. I wish I had pulled something up that could show. Oh, I do. Duh. I was ready. Your boy was ready. I forgot I even had this graphic up here ready for y'all. So hold on. Let me move Omeretta real quick. So, all of that you just saw, this right here is basically this inside of this, oblong triangle dinosaur egg shape. So this is the perimeter. When they say OTP, they mean outside of the perimeter. And I don't know if anybody ever says ITP. Usually if you inside the perimeter, people just say you in Atlanta, right? The irony of the video is that while she's from here and she's talking about Atlanta, her ass filmed that video way up here in Cobb County by the new Braves Stadium. All right, so the point I'm trying to make is that most of this area is not Atlanta, but so much of the culture of Atlanta was pulled out of the city and taken into all these other areas that you're seeing on the screen. And so the problem becomes, what counts? Does it count that you are in the city proper, or does it count that you are a part of the culture of what made the city what it is? Does that make sense? So going back to this screen, so much of this this landscape does not look like where Omeretta the Great is from. It's a whole different vibe. But those people that were pushed out of the city went to those places. So how do you tell them they're not Atlanta? They didn't really have a choice in getting up out the city, like the vast majority of them. Now, some of them did move because they saw opportunities, or they just had a job or whatever. But a lot of them, like when they tore down these projects, some of them up the street from where I live, they gave them vouchers and they said deuces. And then the city of Atlanta didn't allow Section 8 within the city for like a decade. So the whole concept of Atlanta that you all know from the outside looking in has not for decades been about just that one section that she's talking about. And then some areas like College Park have not changed at all. Like College Park hasn't been really regentrified. College Park is still very black. It was very black 25 years ago too. So, and then you talking about 2 Chainz, Young Thug, Outkast, SWV. If you in the chat and you older than 30, let me know who I'm missing. Plus whoever these new people are. I'm pretty sure some new people too that are all from College Park, which has been instrumental in shaping the culture of the city. So although it's not Atlanta, it's Atlanta. All right, so it's not just the specifics of space and place and income when we talk about gentrification. If you watch my videos, and I didn't even realize this, but like I'm real big on culture and the commodification of black art. Like that's a real big thing for me. And the one thing that I haven't got to is how the black bourgeoisie class, the black elites, we are just as guilty of commodifying black art that we have no full claim over. So, and we get away with it because to the outside world, to white folks, you kind of can't tell the difference. So I want to talk about Lotto real quick. Now, Lotto's from Clayco, and understand, Clayco is probably the roughest place in Metro Atlanta right now. All right, so we're not gonna make it seem like Clayco is some like beautiful suburb. I think she had a video riding through Clayco, and you can see it ain't Clayco ain't it. I taught in Clayco for a year. It was the roughest year of my roughest year as a teacher. So I am not saying this to say that Lotto isn't real, because that's conceptually speaking, what does that even mean? But and Lotto, if I imagine her folks are probably from Atlanta. I don't know enough about Lotto, but I'm almost positive that this song is a slick diss track to Lotto, because Lotto right now, I think for all the female rappers, is probably the biggest female rapper coming out of Atlanta. And I get why Omeretta the Great, who's from Zone 3, or is it Zone 6? Shit, I gotta look at it real quick. Hold up. It's from Zone 3. Like, that's a big difference than Clayco. Furthermore, Lotto, she's been rapping since she was little. I actually saw Lotto rap at a high school when she was probably, 15, 16 years old, back in 2015. That's one of the reasons why she's not my favorite out of the new rappers, because she's so polished, and I kind of like my rappers, especially the gangster rappers, to have a level of rawness to them, where she's truly a rap artist at this point. And yeah, she calls herself the Queen of the South. And I'm not going to take that away from her. But I kind of lost my train of thought. But what I want to get at is how, and Lotto is, I think, not a big culprit in this. To me, the worst culprit of this is I can't remember her name. She made the Bitch and Macau song. What's that girl's name? Who made Bitch and Macau? Somebody, Doja Cat. Thank you, Nathaniel. Doja Cat to me is the worst culprit of this. And I love Doja Cat's music, and I'm not gonna sit in here and bad talk black female artists too tough. I don't want them problems. But you can absolutely tell that Doja is appropriating a black, ethnic, black girl energy and vernacular that she did not live or have any part of before she became an artist. No, Doja's not from Atlanta. I don't know where Doja Cat is from. She, I think she's from California. I don't know. And like, you can hear it when she gets on a track with some of these girls, is that she's pulling at this imagery that sells, that people want to buy and commodify. And I'm not mad at her per se, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, I'm not mad at any black person trying to survive in this situation, as long as you're not straight up cooning, you know what I'm saying? As long as you're not doing the Daniel Caesar, then, cool, do your thing. And I'm not about to get into, I don't know who about to start it, but one of y'all about to start this mixed half black shit that I'm gonna talk about in the video a little later. I don't do that either. But I do think it's important to recognize, going back to what I was talking about, kayfabe, where you have, artists, rappers, whomever, that are appropriating a black cultural aesthetic and discourse that they don't come from for the purposes of selling it. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why, where we at? That's what this song is about. That's what this song is about. It's a fun song. It's clowning, the Migos for being from Gwinnett County, although I think the Migos came from the west side to Gwinnett County, but I don't know. And it's clowning, you know, a little bit of a Lotto probably, and probably some other rappers I don't know about because I'm not enough in the young hip hop culture. But what this song is getting at, low key, is that, especially for Atlanta, the epicenter of black pop culture, in my opinion, you have a whole nation of black folks eating off the culture that aren't really from it. And then you have a whole nation of white folks eating off the black folks eating off the culture. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's the thesis. That's the end of the video essay. If this is a real essay, it'd have been much tighter, it'd have been much funnier, and way less glitches. But you get the overall point.